everybody, Brian Stevens here with the National Real Estate Post. I want to say a very gracious and warm thank you to our good friends over at Oaktree who welcomed us into their office last week and let us shoot a couple of videos. It was cool seeing those guys really busting their chops. Reminds me, their DSCR loan, if you have not looked at it or if you're just starting to hear about it, you want to look at DSCR with Oaktree. They've been at this longer than anyone, and pricing is always a huge priority to them. So check out Oaktree. All you have to do is click this banner right over there. Okay, so do you want to see my interpretation of the United Wholesale Mortgage and Rocket Mortgage feud? Here we go.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I know, I get it. I'm already bored with the whole thing as well. And I gotta tell you, he pulled that slap. Sorry, I'm just saying that was all staged. But since we're on the topic, Rocket is still by far the largest lender in the mortgage industry. They did a whopping $340 billion in loans in 2021, and that's up 8.55% from what they did in 2020. United Wholesale Mortgage, the number 2 lender, originated $227 billion, but far exceeded Rocket in terms of growth. Its originations increased 24% from the year prior. So, what are you thinking? Because I'm thinking United Wholesale Mortgage is going to pass Rocket as the largest lender in the country with a fully functioning retail division. You say, that's not going to happen, but guys, there are brokers right now who are brokering to fewer wholesale lenders than a bunch of independent mortgage bankers, courtesy of, well, you know who and, well, what they signed. But anyways, moving on. Did you know that the biggest sector of new home builds in the country right now are those that are built for rent? And that is bad news if you write loans, it's bad news if you sell real estate, and it's bad news if you live in these communities. Yet this is where we're at, and it's not going to change anytime soon. Now, according to new data from the current single-family rental market index, the SFRMI, bet you didn't know that one existed, and that was released this last week and produced by the National Rental Home Council, the NRHC, bet you didn't know that one, and John Burns Real Estate Consulting, the JBREC, bet you didn't know that one either. Homes built for the purposes of renting, built for rent homes accounted for 26% of properties added to the portfolio of single-family rental home providers in the fourth quarter of 2021 compared to just 3% in the third quarter of 2019. Okay, guys, this is really huge, isn't it? Up from 3% to 29%? Now, ain't that something? Here's some thoughts. There are 870,000 more renter households today than there were at the beginning of the COVID pandemic. In 2020, there were 65,000 entry-level homes built in the United States. During the 1970s, the number of entry-level homes built in the United States routinely surpassed 420,000 annually. And over the past 5 years, the amount of owner-occupied homes in the United States has increased more than 10%, while the number of rental homes has increased just over 2%. And finally here, between 2018 and 2020, the housing stock deficit increased by 52% as the undersupply of homes in the United States soared from 2.5 million to 3.8 million units. So let's unpack that. In short, we are no longer effectively building entry-level homes. So you can't buy a move-up home without first purchasing your entry-level home, which is not happening, and this, my friends, is at the core of what will eventually uproot housing. With prices as high as they are, and our build patterns over the past couple of decades, there is simply more money in rentals than owner-occupied new builds. And finally, our housing shortage as a result has actually gotten worse, significantly worse in the past couple of years, which means don't look for any help from new home builders. Hey, by the way, since we're on the topic, do you want to see my interpretation of new home builders and how they look at new home buyers? Enjoy.
Oh, wow. Wow. Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane jump.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
I'm going to, okay?